Friends, it's Sheryl from Tutoring with Sheryl and the Tech Coach for Tutors. And I have my special guest, Michael Gibben, with me for, I believe, a three-peat. Michael is a certified teacher and coach with over 15 years of tutoring experience and more than 5 years of coaching fellow tutors. He's also a certified DISC profile analyst, bringing valuable insights into personality-driven communication and leadership. As the host of the Coach for Tutors podcast and the founder of the Tutoring Business Success Support Group on Facebook, Michael is passionate about helping educators connect, grow, and build a thriving tutoring business. And I'm so excited to have you back, Michael.
Well, thank you so much, Sheryl. Thank you for the warm introduction. It's great to be here today.
Yeah. And, you are a busy tutor. You are a busy trainer, coach. You're working on just doing even some public speaking. And you are so busy. I don't know how you have time to even sit here with me, but I want to thank you for coming. And as you can see on the picture, we're going to be talking about the DISC personality tool. And I have a feeling it's maybe talked about a little bit differently, but that was the spin I took on it, because the last time we met, and we just met casually, you were telling me about this great tool. And I was like, oh my gosh, we need to talk about that. So can you tell us about this tool and what it is and how does it work?
Yeah, sure thing, Sheryl. So DISC it's a personality tool that we were saying, and it helps identify individuals' personality traits, communication styles, and I preface by saying it's not something meant to label anybody, but it's more, these are your communication strengths, and these are areas that you can complement other people with, and these are people that will complement you. And it just gives you a really deeper understanding of that, which is wonderful. DISC, D is dominant, I is inspiring, S is supportive, C is cautious. So there's 4 different quadrants. Everybody has some blend of the 4, but we're more dominant or in 1 or 2 of the quadrants. And so that's really, and in a tutoring context, it really can be something that you can utilize with your students to help understand how they are and understand their communication style. They can understand more about themselves and how they communicate, which can in turn make them even more productive learners and can help your business grow and give you that special edge as well. If we want to really help students with understanding their communication styles, because that's going to go with them in the years to come, right? So it's great to have that encouragement and understanding of how they communicate as well. And as well, if you have a team of tutors, it's a great opportunity to be able to figure out how to do matchmaking 101 between the tutors and the families. And it's a great tool. And it was a lesson I learned myself. In 2018, I had a parent sit down with me, and I didn't know about DISC really that much. I knew a little bit about DISC previously, but they said to me, Michael, we really like this tutor. However, it's not the right fit for us. My daughter and this tutor, they just don't mesh. And it got me thinking with that constructive feedback. Well, how can we be more proactive with matching tutors with families? And that's when this, DISC came back into the light, and I looked up, what are different ways we can do it. And there is a site that does personality assessments for children, youth, as well as adults. Great opportunity to start matching and really help with making those connections even greater.
I think that's great. I mean, I think I also, if I knew more about my student learner and how they like to be communicated with, I think that would help me strategically when I'm planning different things. Do you have anything that you can add to that?
Yes, I would say if you're doing a DISC with a student, and because again, for tutors using the tool, there's the 4 quadrants again, the D, I, S, and C. And again, we're not labeling students. There's no right or wrong answer when you're doing this with them. But if you find that a student is a type D, those are students that are going to be more of that goal setting results. They love challenge. They want to direct communication. They want competitive games or time-based goals. Really motivates that student. So when you have a lesson and okay, this student is predominantly in the D quadrant or that's one of their 2 stronger quadrants, okay, this will potentially be a great road to communication with them. If they're an I type, more of that inspiring type or influential, depending on the DISC program you use, but inspiring, is they thrive on that interaction, that recognition, and then you have that fun discussion with them, group work, and use praise to keep them engaged, and lots of connection that way, and they thrive on that. The S quadrant, the more supportive or steadiness, depending on which one you use, but supportive quadrant is more, they prefer stability, support, a comfortable, safe space to succeed, clear expectations set, team-based activities as well. So if you're doing group tutoring, S students, really, that can be a really great home base for them. And finally, with the C quadrant is the cautious or compliance, depending on which one you use, which system of DISC, but cautious. And those students really value logic, step by step, detailed explanations, stuff written out in order, clear rubrics to meet their needs. They're going to love that if you can keep it very organized for them. That will help them to really take off. So when you're planning, if you're using DISC and you have that profile, you can think, okay, I'm going to teach them these curricular outcomes, but now how can we communicate these outcomes, and how can we communicate during the lesson to make that even more successful towards motivation and momentum?
Wow. I can really see like where you being a trained tutor, in this program, how that would really benefit. I mean, that is just incredible. So what would be the cost of that? Like if, and I'm talking monetary cost of either being the tutor wanting the training, or if you didn't necessarily want the training, but you wanted to use the tool. Because I'm sure, do you have to be trained in it to give the test?
That's a very good question. I had not received training before I started doing it. I read up on it and did more informal, but then I decided to get my full certification recently, but in this particular area of training. But you could still read up on it. The DISC from Personality Insights that I utilize, it's $12.95 US for the concise children and youth version, which is several pages long, and it gives you insights in terms of words that describe the child's strengths, tips to help the child develop and mature, environment needs, motivational preferences, overview of the DISC as well. And for the teens, it gives things like career tips, communication tips, overview of the personality model, motivational styles. And teachers can use this. It is definitely accessible, but the training is great if you want to really do that deeper dive into this. And but try it out first. Try out grab one if it's within something you want to try. See how it's working. Of course, keep communicating with parents and guardians. Keep that transparent communication going about something you'd like to try, and make sure it's as long as you're creating that wonderful safe space, that it's no judgment zone. We're just here to make this even more enhanced for you. It should be okay.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, like, how do parents feel about it? And I would think that if it was something that was going to be a tool that would help my child know more about themselves, and the educator that is working with them know more about them, that would be very positive. Have you met with any resistance?
No, I have not been met with a resistance for it. Parents have asked questions. Of course, parents and guardians have asked, what does it mean? What does it entail? And so I just think as long as, if any parents and guardians show you that resistance, showing them what it's about, if they're still not comfortable, totally fine. We don't have to do it. But there hasn't been any resistance yet for it. It's just, this is a breakdown of what we're going to do, and making sure that the parents and guardians can see what it's going to be about, share with them afterwards, include them in the process. And then it becomes a really wonderful collaborative, supportive activity instead of this is an assessment and this is what we're going to cover.
Right.
Which can be met with some resistance. And also as well, unless you're trained as a psychologist or a therapist formally, I never tell parents, because I'm not a psychologist or therapist, it's just, this is another tool we use to help your child grow as a learner. It's not a psychiatric assessment. It's not, it's something different.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the training that you took and what that looked like?
Sure. So when I was training for the analyst training, it was it was several hours of video training and coursework, and then there was a quiz at the end as well. And and then from there I gained that first analyst certification, and there's additional trainings that follow as well. So it's something you can do over several hours, break it up over a few days or a week, and continue to study and write down your questions, answer questions, and keep watching videos and keep learning.
Yes, it sounds like that would be a pretty simple way for tutors to get started. Was that a costly venture, or is it within, my pocketbook?
Yeah.
Is the training expensive?
So the training that I had completed was, I'm trying to remember if it was US or Canadian. I believe it was $247 or $297 US for that training and certification. So depending on where you are with that, but even just having a start point of even looking up some of the articles that some of the sites have about disc profile, and just getting the knowledge from that as well as a start point if you decide not to dive right into the analyst training right away.
I think one of the things I see in your Facebook group, sometimes people think that they need to have credentials, and maybe they don't have credentials as far as being like a certified teacher, but they're really, maybe they're an engineer and they want to support students with either math or science. And they feel like there's like a stumbling block when it comes to saying that they know about people and they can work with children. I think if they had this on their resume or as a bullet point to say, yeah, I'm trained in this, I understand people's personalities and I can work with them, I think that would be a really powerful statement to like level up your tutoring game.
Absolutely. And whether exactly like because if you have the other qualifications and you can add something else that can give you potentially a value add for families that are looking for a tutor, go for it. Whether you're certified as a teacher or not, throw it in there.
Yeah.
As a potential option.
I think I know my students pretty well, but there's a couple that I think I would be really interested to see if I'm on the right path. Because sometimes I bring things to the table and I think they're going to love it, and then they're not really engaged in it. So, having that deeper understanding of their personality type really, I think, could help me. And when you initially told me about this, I said that my husband is on a board where he serves, and they all had to take it so that they understood their own personality traits and where they were, their dominant traits were. And then the company is using it with the farmers that they support and taking a basic look at the way the farmers, certain types of farmers are. And so how would this farmer like to receive the information about their crops or your services? So, it's used in education, it's used in business, it's used all over the place. And I think it sounds like it's a great tool, and I need to learn more. So I will ask, we don't have to share it right now because I will include it in the link, but you can maybe send me a link. And did you find a link that I can share with the viewers?
Sure thing. Yeah, I can give you a start point link. Personalinsights.com. I will send that over to you.
Yeah, we will make sure that we share that. That's awesome. Now, Michael, you have so many things going on in the background. You tell me about this all the time. Take a second to tell the viewers a little bit more about what's going on in your Facebook group and the things that you're working on. Tell them a little bit more. You are such an amazing educator. And for those of you that haven't met Michael yet, I just gave a really brief introduction. Is there anything that you'd like to share? I know you were saying that you were coaching a group of tutors right now.
Right. So, right now the big thing is the Tutoring Business Success Support Group. We're just about 8,400 tutors. It's a great community hive where we can give, there's a great sense of support and community and connection. And it'd be great if you would like to join us there. That would be a great start point. And we also have the Coach for Tutors podcast, which has, we're on season 7. Sheryl was just a three-peat guest as well there. And there's a lot of wonderful insights from great people like Sheryl and others that provide some great ideas on how to really grow your tutoring business and keeping that going. And right now I'm starting some more workshops, additional workshops for for team building strategies right now, and using DISC and Myers-Briggs and other really cool things as well. And so those are kind of the things that are happening, and also getting ready to launch another summer tutoring income workshop as well. Stay tuned for that.
That's a good one. I'm telling you, if you haven't been to one, you guys have to go. And I'm going to go ahead and post this video today. But when you get your next link for that information, I will come back in and edit it and add that.
Cheryl, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share for the common good?
Oh, I think, well, I mean, make it a great day, everybody. Thanks again for connecting. And if you would like to connect as well, LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn at Michael Gibben, and or shoot me an email at michaelgibben@gmail.com.
All right. Awesome. I appreciate your time. I think the DISC personality tool is something I definitely need to learn more about. You guys, it is always a pleasure having Michael on the show. We're going to make it a 4-peat at some point.
We sure are. And I also want to throw one more thing in about DISC really quickly for viewers that are and listeners that are watching. So as well, when you're looking at the whatever quadrant or quadrants that are your strongest parts, or most like yourself, it's also a great chance to complement as well. So if you work with a student who's very dominant, very action, goal, a complementary personality could be someone more supportive, someone who's very team building and really brings that steadiness. So it can be a great complementary connection. Same with someone who's really inspiring and really, pie in the sky and excited, and somebody who's very cautious and more analytical, step by step. Again, you can bring magic together through these different personality types to make things even stronger. So just wanted to throw that out there, that is great. It's not a negative, it's a wonderful, how can you connect together?
I just appreciate all of your information. It was so great to see you again.
Thanks again, Sheryl. Absolute pleasure, and be well, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care.